Coming up on Fulton Today, could there be more transportation options coming to Fulton County?
I'm Priscilla Ortega. County mayors and commissioners discuss transit expansion possibilities. I'll have that story coming up.
I'm Dante Carter, and I'll explain why a group of citizens are given a second chance at staying on the right side of the law.
That and more starts right now on Fulton Today. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. Fulton County Commissioners host their first mayor's meeting of the year with a quest to ease traffic congestion in the county. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega is joining us now with this story. Priscilla?
The elected officials gathered to discuss a recent trip to the Dallas metro area, where they saw firsthand how transit expansion has greatly improved that area. Now Fulton County leaders are hoping to do the same here. At Georgia Tech, commissioners and Fulton mayors held their first meeting of the year to discuss a recent trip to Dallas, where many of them saw firsthand how the rapid transit operates there.
We found them to be a best practice. In many cases, what the demographics and the layout of Dallas, what they are very similar to Fulton County.
Traffic relief isn't the only thing county leaders are hoping to gain by expanding transit across Fulton.
They said it transformed that community in the economic development side and made it a walkable community.
Commissioners hope the benefits will be similar to what the Dallas area saw.
And they have discovered that transit is their friend in terms of community, economic development, as well as traffic and congestion relief.
MARTA expansion is already coming to Atlanta. In November, voters approved an additional half-a-penny sales tax in the city of Atlanta for MARTA expansion. Starting in April, that tax will be collected. But for now, any increase in sales tax for MARTA expansion outside of Atlanta has to be authorized by legislative action through the General Assembly. The next steps for this group in this process include developing a detailed transit plan and looking to see how much it could cost. The goal is to also support legislative changes for 2018 so the county has approval to let voters decide if they want to add an additional sales tax for MARTA expansion across the county. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Priscilla Ortega.
Thank you very much. Meanwhile, funds to continue the Justice Reinvestment Initiative get approved by the board. Approved during the January recess meeting, the $7.4 million will continue improvements to the county's justice system. Now, the first round of the 2017 initiative request include a group of one-time expenditures totaling $6.4 million, which will improve the efficiency of moving cases through the judicial system, along with reducing the jail population and also ensuring appropriate behavioral health treatment.
One of the great things about how we have structured the program is it can be both responsive as well as flexible. So again, the funding is there. There's not really a prescribed way to use it until the board adopts and approves initiatives. So really and truly, as long as we still have funding available, we can respond to needs that come up in the community as well as address our overall objectives for criminal justice reform.
Eliminating a backlog of felony and misdemeanor cases as well as budget enhancements for the Public Defender's Office are just some plans of the Commissioner's approved funds. If you'd like more information about the Justice Reinvestment Initiative, you can contact the Strategy and Performance Management Office at 404-612-8990. Some Fulton County residents who have had a few brushes with the law now find themselves on the right side of the legal system. FGTV's Dante Carter joins us now with this encouraging story.
Shania, drug and alcohol addictions have ruined countless lives, marriages, and even put many people behind bars for a very long time. But thankfully, here in Fulton County, there's a program that gives abusers a second chance. 4 times a year, Superior Court holds a graduation ceremony to honor those who have completed the Adult Drug Treatment Court program. Lasting 18 months, it involves the District Attorney's Office, Public Defender, probation, and treatment and community groups. It's accountability alternative to going behind bars.
It gives offenders whose primary issue is drug addiction an opportunity to seek help in order to break the cycle that they've been in, recidivism. They get out, they use, they commit a crime, and they're back in again. And this is an effort to break that cycle. It's a commitment on their part, but instead of just trying to warehouse a problem that doesn't fix itself while someone's in custody, it goes to the root problem, which is the addiction.
Once completed, their charges are either dismissed or they're placed on probation and may avoid jail time altogether. At the recent winter graduation ceremony, friends and family gathered in the assembly hall to watch these 9 graduates receive their graduation medals, and though they may have been all smiles, getting to this point was no easy task.
Just perseverance, staying on the right track, not swinging any other way, just staying focused on what you need to do, following the rules, first of all, not really trying to bend the rules to try to make it your own program, and just pretty much just looking for the destination.
And for the offender and the community, it's programs like this that benefit everyone involved.
The bread and butter and the daily, because these folks come to drug court 5 days a week. Oh, wow. It's the case managers and the clinicians. They provide the structure and the counseling and the curriculum that equips the clients to deal with and combat and prevail against their addiction.
I would recommend the program if you're actually trying to change your life. I was a little hesitant at first, but definitely once I went along with the program, I learned a lot about myself, and it changed a lot about me.
Now, in order to qualify for graduation, defendants must refrain from using drugs or alcohol for a minimum of 6 months. They must also be employed or enrolled in school full-time and pay a program participation fee of $750. Reporting outside of the courthouse, I'm Dante Carter for FGTV.
Great story. Thank you so much. Well, the Fulton County manager has a bright outlook on this new year.
Let's deliver this in 2017.
That's the message Mr. Dick Anderson relayed to the Housing and Human Services Department during his first road trip of the year.
So it's a great time to start the year talking about not only what we plan to do, because that's what we did a lot last year when we did the road trip series, but now we can talk about what was accomplished in 2016 in very definitive terms.
Looking back at the success of 2016, Mr. Anderson discussed topics like the passing of the T-SPLOST referendum and the human resources being reformed. Though he's excited about the positive things the department is planning in 2017, he says it is not a year of planning.
But it's really not a planning year, it's more of a delivery year. So I think that's the primary message, is that most of the things that we have been talking about perhaps for the last 1.5 to 2 years, we're now going to be actually seeing come to fruition.
The visit is a part of the county manager's road trip agenda, where he visits each of the county's departments to update employees on key initiatives and to gather feedback. The effort to end homelessness in both North and South Fulton continue in 2017. Every year, the Fulton County Continuum of Care conducts its point-in-time homeless count.
This count is so important for the community because this is how our shelters and our housing programs in Fulton County get their funding from HUD.
Working with county leaders, police, and community organizations, along with numerous volunteers, the objective is to gather accurate information about the number of homeless people, both sheltered and unsheltered, residing within the many cities that make up Fulton County.
That information can be given to the powers that be so that they can make assessments on dollars that are allocated to communities so that we can continue to serve the homeless and hopefully get all of the homeless in our community housed.
The information gathered is essential for planning future efforts to eradicate the homeless population in the county. For information about the point-in-time homeless count and to learn more about their volunteer efforts, you can call them at 404-613-0413. And still to come, Fulton County is moving and shaking, all for a good cause. We'll explain in our district-by-district coverage next. Fulton is honored for the work it does on behalf of human trafficking victims. Here's that story and more in this week's District by District coverage. We begin with Chairman John Eves as he is honored by Youth Spark for his outstanding contributions toward protecting Atlanta's victims of child exploitation. The recognition came during the organization's annual fundraiser called Movers, Shakers, and Change Makers.
I think we've been able to make tremendous strides. I mean, in just 1 year, we've opened our new youth service center, and we've been able to expand our services to not just girls, but to boys as well, and it means a lot.
Youth Spark partnered with volunteers at the Atlanta Women's Club to produce the event, which allowed the nonprofit to keep its focus where it belongs, and that on serving exploited, abused, and at-risk youth. 100% of the event proceeds will go directly to Youth Spark. District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr. is reminding residents about the 2017 dates for his community meetings called District Dialogues. The forums will kick off in April at the Southeast Library, Bowden Senior Center, and Welcome All Park.
We want to make sure that we're getting out to the people and make sure that the people have an opportunity to engage with the county, its county, their county, and to provide input on the services that they receive and then how they would like their money spent.
Dozens of residents showed up at his joint town hall meeting with Commissioner Emma I. Darnell in January that focused on the public safety issues in South Fulton. The commissioner wants to hear all about other issues as well, everything from youth programs to programs for the arts. And you can get more information on the sessions by visiting the District 5 website. All of the meetings in 2017 will be from 6 to 7:30 p.m. And finally, in District 6, residents are grateful for the destruction of properties in their community that have become an eyesore of the community. County staff coordinated the demolition of the home located on 2440 Lake Royal Drive. The burned-out home was vacant and had long been a concern for residents who lived nearby. Like this property, the county also has plans to demolish another home on 2810 Carriage Lane for similar reasons.
We had 11 homes that needed to be demolished. We had 11 homes burned out, abandoned homes that were threats not only to our public safety in these communities, but to our self-respect. We will have to insist upon action that is successful and effective in removing and diminishing any situation that is threatening to the self-respect of individuals and this community.
Fulton's code enforcement team worked to secure a demolition permit through the county's Planning and Zoning Department. The permit was signed by a Fulton County Superior Court judge that cleared the way for the demolition. Now you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with a rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And still to come, say cheese. We'll explain why a healthy mouth is good for the entire body. Stay with us, everybody. Fulton's health team is reminding parents why having a healthy mouth is good for the entire body. Well, the message comes just in time for National Children's Dental Health Month. FGTV's Lynn Vaughn explains.
Brushing teeth, flossing, and visiting a dentist twice a year. Dental professionals say those steps are what's required to have good oral health. And Fulton's Director of Clinical Services says in too many cases that is not always happening.
1 out of 30 people do not seek a dentist or have dental good checkups. So right now the statistics show that 40% of adults in Fulton County have 1 or 2 or more missing teeth.
Dr. Turner also stresses that oral health is very important to overall health.
Some of the bacteria that's in the mouth can impact your heart and other organs. So we encourage everyone to get good oral checkups.
Gum disease and tooth loss are preventable, especially when good habits are formed early. During National Children's Dental Health Month, the county wants residents to be aware of free or discounted dental services available for children up to 17 years old. Most children who receive free or reduced price lunches or who are in low-income families will qualify. There are 4 locations in the county that provide these services. You can call 404-613-1471 to find the health center closest to you. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Lynn Vaughn.
Fulton County residents are getting some life-saving tips just in case of a natural disaster. With images of the devastating tornado aftermath from South Georgia fresh on their minds, library patrons gathered at the East Point Library to get emergency preparedness tips. And AmeriCorps representatives stress the importance of having an emergency kit and a plan that is shared with loved ones.
Because of the technology that we use, making sure that you do have your numbers, your phone numbers of your family members or close ones written down. Have a plan on where to meet in case there is, an outage. Okay, well, we're going to meet at this particular place and time.
We know we have to be prepared just in case of emergency. There's so many things going on in the world today, and weather, disaster-wise, anything can happen, and you always need to be prepared.
A basic emergency kit includes a 3-day supply of food and water for each family member and pets, flashlights, medication, hand sanitizer, ponchos, and blankets. From healthy eating to gardening tips, registration is now underway for the 4-H Summer Camp program. Fulton Cooperative Extension's office is accepting applications for the camp right now.
A lot of the things that we focus on are science, technology, engineering, and math. We also have a program in public speaking. We focus a lot on career awareness and exploration. Citizenship is a big piece of our programs. We do a lot of community service. And then finally, healthy living is another focus that we have.
There are a number of different camps held at 4-H centers across the state. In years past, many of the camps fill up fast, so parents are encouraged to sign up early. 4-H agents say the summer camp is something that allows students to create memories, make friends, and be active. Kids 4th through 12th grades are encouraged to attend. You can learn more by calling 404-332-2400. Still to come, the greatest show on earth may be making its final stop in Fulton County. Details when we come back. A new mixed media 3-dimensional exhibit is now on display at the Southwest Art Center. The artist of ordinary people, extraordinary beauty, is self-taught, who became a full-time artist to follow his passion. Wycliffe Link Bennett used wood, fabric, and other materials to bring depth to his work. The artist says most of his pieces are centered on depicting people in their everyday lives.
A painting can save 1,000 words. So I'm perceiving this is something I'm seeing, and I have the luxury as being an artist of saying, well, see what I see, look at it through my eyes. Bring to it yourself, bring who you are to it, and interpret it in your own way. But again, you have the ability and the opportunity to see what I'm seeing.
The exhibit is open during gallery hours Tuesday through Saturday until February 17th. To schedule a group tour, just call 404-613-3220. Well, it's a final farewell for the greatest show on earth in Fulton County. The appearances were part of the Reading with Ringling Brothers campaign. During all of the appearances, including this one at the South Fulton Library, the clowns read If I Ran the Circus by Dr. Seuss.
We love promoting reading as a very important thing, especially to the young minds of kids. And then we like to, have some fun afterwards and do some clown stuff.
The library system is partnering with the Ringling Brothers and Barnum and Bailey Circus as they prepare for their 145th tour, which is, as we said, their farewell tour. The circus is giving vouchers for their show for those kids who read 5 books through the library system. You can call your local branch to learn more. What great memories. Well, before we go, we'd like to remind you that we want to connect with you online. Check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and watch us on our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.